Welcome, Aries. This is your weekly reading for March 9th through the 15th. I am Mark Kozak, and this is Art Kozak Tarot. And as you can see, Aries, I already have some of the cards down here on the table for as usual, but also for some clarification. For what I see coming up for you in the coming week is that what you're looking at is you're looking at a challenging situation coming up for you. I think there's a challenging situation that you've been dealing with or that you've seen coming for some time. And it's something that you may have invited. This may be a challenge that you've invited for yourself. And so, not necessarily a bad thing, but it does have to do with things needing to be rectified. Things need to be evened out. There was, I think, a time where you saw that there were some things in your life that were going to extremes, and that needed to be headed off. That needs to be taken care of because you need to balance things out. Again, there's a kind of a rectification that needs to take place. And that's what you've been dealing with. You've been dealing with it well. I see that in the recent past, you have been working with other people very well. You may have been working with other people specifically on this issue, on this battle you're looking at fighting, but it may be just more in general that you've had people around you in your workspace, also potentially in your social life, who are there to be allies for you and there to go down the road with you, so to speak, whatever road you're going to be going down. I see this coming up. Again, you're ready to take this challenge on, and again, you're inviting it. You're taking a look at your resources that you have. You're taking stock, taking inventory of all of the abilities and the resources you have to fight this battle, and you're ready to take it on. Now, emotionally, and this is going to be very relevant coming up for you in the beginning of the week, especially, emotionally, your heart is full, okay? You are at a place where your emotions are good and where they need to be, even if they are a bit in the excess, okay? Even if there is a little bit of an excess of emotion going on with you. And I think this also has to do with you being in the dark a little bit, maybe meeting that challenge of being in the dark and potentially having people around you who are a little bit questionable, having circumstances around you that are a little bit questionable, potentially people who are presenting unwanted challenges for you. Your response to this is to make sure your heart is full at the beginning of the week. And that's good because that's going to help you going forward. I can see by the end of the week, you're going to get to a place where you're not ready, you're not willing to deal with any nonsense anymore. I cannot tell you specifically in terms of a win-loss or a yes-no, either or, where this particular challenge is going to fall down for you, but the way things are going to shake out for you, I should say. But I can tell you that you're going to be in a very good place to handle that. You're going to be done with the nonsense, with the foolishness. You're going to be ready to just be done with it all, but you're also going to be in a frame of mind where you are able to use your diplomatic skills. Okay, you're going to be in your head a little bit about it. You are going to be ready to acknowledge those hard boundaries that need to be set, but also in dealing with other people in a fashion that is not necessarily going to cause any lasting wounds, I should say. You are going to be in a place where you are able to use your diplomatic skills to just go ahead and deal with it and get done with what needs to be got done with. The ultimate outcome I'm seeing for you in the coming week does involve some anxiety. And if this is a professional situation that you're looking at, I think that this is something that you're going to have some anxiety about stepping out into a new opportunity. I think, and this is not an unheard of situation when you have a battle that needs to be fought, when you have some challenge that you know that needs to be undertaken, and you're dealing with that, you're thinking about it, and you are preparing yourself in every way to make sure that gets taken care of. Well, what comes next after that? What comes next after the battle is won can also be a source of anxiety. And this is symbolized by the Nine of Swords. And I often, if you haven't heard already, I often try to remind people that the Nine of Swords represents a situation in which the anxiety itself has become the problem, not what you are anxious about. Okay, so try to remember that. Try to draw on some of those emotional resources that you started out the week with. Save some of those for the end because you're going to need them. I also see a real commitment coming up for you near the end of the week. And again, this can have to do with the professional situations. The cards surrounding it, the concepts surrounding it, do have to do with professional circumstance. There may be some romance involved for some of you, but more than anything, I'm seeing this has to do with money, with your profession, with the way that you earn money. And even though there is some anxiety about starting out anew, you are going to be in a place where you're ready to commit. And if you commit, then you will be in a place where you are able to do whatever you want. You will be at a starting point, okay, but you're going to be in a very good starting point where you are able to take off and take back some control of your situation. In terms of your social life and other people, as I said, I see that probably in the very recent past, at least is what I'm getting, is that you have made some friends, made some allies, been working well with other people. There may be some challenges involved with that in the coming week. You may feel like you're having to exert a little bit more effort in order to keep those people on your side, in order to keep things together. There's not necessarily any conflict involved, but you're going to be following your intuition a little bit more. Okay, and that involves a little bit more independence. Independence of mind, independence of soul, you acting from the authentic place inside of you, and that often also can involve challenges when we look to our allies and our friends, because when we are looking most deeply within our own authentic selves, we can't also have someone there go there with us all the time. So just be aware. You may get some very good advice for the coming week. But I think most of that advice is going to be coming from inside you, because again, you've got your emotions in place. You are emotionally full. You are ready to go, and you have a strong mind as well. And so, just be aware that it may seem like it's a little bit more. The road is a little bit rougher when it comes to those friendships and those allies that are on your side. It's not necessarily going to be anything relationship ending, I don't think, but there are going to be some judgments involved, some judgment calls that need to be made, probably by you, reality checks when it comes to the people around you. Maybe the honeymoon is over a little bit with some of these friendships and allies that you've made, and so you're just going to have to be realistic about that. Again, going into the end of the week. So all in all, I see a very adventurous week coming up for you. If there is some big challenge that you do, a specific challenge that you have on your mind, some battle that you're trying to win, you're in a good place to do that. You're very strong emotionally, intellectually as well. But again, just be aware that by the end, it's going to be up to you to overcome those anxieties that you're left with, to overcome the baggage immediately. Don't take any baggage with you. Leave it behind, and go ahead and commit to that new road that you're on, to whatever that victory leads you to, because then you're going to be in a very good place to start out yet again. I hope this reading has been helpful to you. I hope that something I've said here is going to be very helpful to you in the coming week. Also, I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. There is a link to our Patreon page in the description box below. And once again, my name is Art Kozak, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.